Well, hey, welcome to Group Leader 101. My name's Chris. I want to thank you for taking the time to join me for session one. Now, our goal over the next 4 sessions is to help you understand why we do groups here at the Bridge, how we do groups here, and the support that you're going to receive as a group leader. You should have a copy of the Bridge Groups playbook. If you don't, you can go to bridge.tv/group leader and download it from there. But I'd ask you to go ahead and pull that out and follow along with me as we work through these sessions together. In the first session, we're going to talk about our vision for groups. Now, here at the Bridge, relationships are the backbone of everything that we do. We serve a relational God who He's always existed in relationship with Himself, from the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And since we were created in His image, we were created for relationship. We believe that God created us to live in relationship with others, and that really only then can we experience the full life that He intends for us to live. So we say real discipleship is taking what God is doing inside of us and working it out with other people. And over the years, I've just come to realize that what Ecclesiastes 4 says is true. It says this: 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him who's always alone when he falls and doesn't have another to lift him up. And I'm just thankful that times in my life when I've fallen, I've had brothers to lift me up. Some of the most significant gospel breakthroughs in my life have come from the context of deep and meaningful relationships, when brothers have lifted me up and pointed me toward the cross. And we just believe that real life change happens in the context of relationships. So it's our goal for everyone who calls the Bridge home to be connected to a group. And so that's why we're so thankful that you are taking this next step to becoming a group leader. Lives are going to be transformed because of the difference that you will make. We believe that our church must get larger and smaller at the same time. Now, that may sound strange to you, but here's what we mean. From time to time, people ask pastors questions like this: how many people attend your church? And my answer is always, man, not enough. We should always grow larger. Why? Because heaven and hell are real. So we're committed to growing as large as we can by reaching as many people as we can with the life-changing message of Jesus. But we're also committed to our church feeling small because our problems are real and we need care and help. And so we make our church feel small by connecting people in deep and meaningful relationships through our groups. Now, groups at the Bridge offer people 3 things. First, groups are a place to connect. You read Acts chapter 5, what you'll see is that the believers there, it says they met in temple courts and then from house to house. They connected with each other like family. And we say all the time, our groups are spiritual families, and healthy families eat together, they laugh together, they spend time together, they play together, they learn together, serve together. Families do life together. And it's through that life together that our problems become smaller, and God uses others to support and encourage our lives. So groups become a place where others don't just know your name, but they care about what's happening in your life and support you in your journey to being all that God made you to be. So groups are a place to connect. Number 2, groups are a place to protect. So imagine you're watching Animal Planet and a lion's about to pounce on a herd of gazelles, all right? So which gazelle is the lion gonna attack? Well, it's not the small one necessarily. It's not even necessarily the weak one. It's the isolated one. Now, 1 Peter is explicitly clear that we have an enemy prowling like a lion seeking to devour us. And a surefire way to be devoured is to live a life of isolation. And this is why the writer of Hebrews said in Hebrews 10:25, not neglecting to meet together as the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near. And so groups are a place for us to protect each other from the attacks of the enemy. I spoke to someone recently in our church who told me the story of their marriage, and they were just in a really difficult season of their marriage. It just kind of seemed like it was flying apart at the seams. And they tried lots of things. They'd even tried therapy and counseling. But then they decided to try getting connected to a group. And in their own words, were it not for their group, their marriage would not have made it. Do you see what was happening there? Their group offered protection from the enemy seeking to devour their marriage. So groups are a place to connect, but groups are also a place to protect. Number 3, groups are a place to grow. 1 John 1:7 says, "But if we walk in the light as he is in the light, we'll have fellowship with one another, and the blood of his Son cleanses us from all sin." Now, what this verse is saying is that sin is, as Pastor Josh says, like a fungus. It grows in the dark, but dies in the light. And it's when we bring our own sin to the light that we're able to find freedom from it and grow more into the image of Christ. And so being a group leader is about creating an environment where it's safe to take off the mask, safe to be courageously vulnerable so that the gospel of grace can be applied to those areas of our lives. So groups is a place to connect, it's a place to protect, and it's a place to grow. To say it another way, groups have one simple purpose: to bring people together to find freedom and take next steps.